Ladies and gentlemen, life, my friends, is not a smooth journey. It's a road filled with bumps, obstacles, and sometimes even the deepest of valleys. We often find ourselves waiting for someone to come and save us. We hope that the universe will align and we will be handed our dreams, our happiness, or our success. But here's the harsh truth. No one is coming to save you. Only you can. The world around us constantly tells us that we need to rely on others to get through life. But let me ask you, what happens when the people you rely on are no longer there? What happens when everyone else is too busy fighting their own battles? Who will be there to pick you up then? It's easy to feel lost when things go wrong, to believe that we are powerless in the face of adversity. But strength is not about being immune to hardship. It's about knowing deep within that even when the world feels like it's collapsing around you, you are still standing. And standing is the first step to rising. The truth is, we are our own greatest allies. We are the ones who can choose how we react to life's challenges. It's not the hand we're dealt that defines us, but the way we play it. Each setback, each failure, each heartbreak is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to rise, to learn, to grow stronger. You have the power to rebuild, reshape, and transform your life, no matter how dark it seems. But this starts within. You must make a choice to keep going, a choice to look in the mirror and say, I am enough, I am capable, I can do this. And here's the thing, no one can take that power away from you. People may try to tear you down, they may call you weak, they may doubt your ability, but they do not define your worth. You define you. When the road gets tough and the voices around you grow louder with negativity, remember this. You are not alone in your struggle because your greatest companion in this journey is the strength within you. Believe in yourself, trust in your journey, and know that no matter how many times you fall, you have the courage to rise again. Only you can save you. Stand tall, embrace the struggle, and never forget that the power to change your life is already within your hands. You just have to reach for it. Life has a strange way of reminding us that while we may search for support from others, at the end of the day, it is within us that the power to change our circumstances truly lies. Self-reliance is not just a concept, but a way of life, a mentality that frees you from the chains of dependency and gives you the freedom to pursue your goals with strength and confidence. It's about understanding that despite the world around you, despite the challenges that come your way, you are the one responsible for making decisions, for taking action, for shaping your own future. In a world where we are often taught to rely on others, whether it's parents, teachers, friends, or even the government, we can easily forget one fundamental truth. No one else is going to live your life for you. The people around us may provide guidance, may offer support, but ultimately the choices you make, the steps you take, and the mindset you develop will define who you are and what you accomplish. We live in a society that places great emphasis on collaboration, on teamwork, and on finding strength in numbers. There's nothing wrong with seeking guidance from others or working together to achieve shared goals. However, what's often overlooked is the importance of self-reliance, the ability to trust yourself, to get through challenges, to make decisions without waiting for someone else to tell you what to do, and to stand tall in the face of adversity, even when there's no one around to cheer you on. When we become reliant on others, we give up a part of ourselves. We become dependent, and this dependency can sometimes create a feeling of helplessness when we are left to face difficulties alone. We may wait for someone to come along and solve our problems, to offer solutions, or to lend us a hand. But what happens when that help is not available? What happens when the people we count on aren't there, or when the support we need simply doesn't come? This is where the power of self-reliance truly comes into play. The moment you understand that no one else is coming to save you, you begin to tap into a deeper well of strength that you never knew you had. You realize that you alone have the ability to overcome whatever challenges life throws your way. This shift in perspective allows you to take full ownership of your life, to stop waiting for circumstances to change, and to start changing them yourself. Self-reliance doesn't mean isolating yourself from others or rejecting help when you need it. It means understanding that while external support can be valuable, it is not the cornerstone of your success. The cornerstone of your success is you, your ability to make decisions, to take risks, to act with purpose, and to persevere through hardships. It's about learning to trust yourself, to rely on your own instincts, and to know that you have the inner resources to handle whatever comes your way. When you become self-reliant, you stop waiting for things to happen to you. You make things happen. You set goals, take action, and move forward with determination, knowing that the outcome is ultimately in your hands. Even when things don't go according to plan, you understand that setbacks are just part of the journey. They don't define you. What defines you is your ability to keep moving forward, to learn from your mistakes, and to grow stronger with each challenge you face. Think about the most successful people in the world. Are they the ones who waited for others to give them permission to succeed? Are they the ones who sat around hoping that things would get easier? No. They are the ones who took charge of their own lives, who decided that no matter what obstacles stood in their way, they were going to find a way to succeed. They understood the importance of self-reliance. They understood that waiting for someone else to solve their problems would only keep them stuck. Take, for example, the journey of an entrepreneur. Starting a business from scratch requires an immense amount of self-reliance. It's not easy. There are moments of doubt, times when the odds seem stacked against you, and moments when the world around you tells you to quit. But it is in these moments that self-reliance becomes the most important quality you can possess. You have to believe in yourself, even when no one else does. You have to trust that you have the ability to figure things out, to make the right decisions, and to push through the hard times. The success of the business depends entirely on your ability to stay focused, to keep going, and to keep making decisions that move you closer to your goals. Self-reliance also extends to our personal lives. When we face difficulties in our relationships, our careers, or our health, it can be tempting to rely on others to solve our problems. But true growth comes from looking inward and asking yourself, what can I do to improve this situation? No one else can live your life for you, and no one else can fix your problems for you. It is your responsibility to find solutions, to take ownership of your life, and to create the changes you want to see. Of course, self-reliance doesn't mean that we shouldn't seek help when needed. It's important to recognize that we don't have all the answers, and there are times when it's appropriate to ask for advice, guidance, or support. But the key is to approach these moments from a place of strength, not weakness. Recognize that seeking help is a tool, not a crutch. It is one of many resources you have at your disposal, but it is not the only one. The most important resource you have is you. Being self-reliant means understanding that your future is in your hands. If you're waiting for someone to come and save you, you are putting your fate in someone else's hands. If you are waiting for things to change on their own, you are wasting time. The world will not always cater to your needs, and it will not always make things easy for you. But when you take full responsibility for your life, when you stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect opportunity, you give yourself the power to create your own reality. You might not have control over everything that happens to you. Life will throw challenges your way that you cannot predict or prevent. But you have control over how you respond. And your response will determine the course of your life. When you take responsibility for your actions, when you trust yourself to make decisions, even in the face of uncertainty, you become unstoppable. It's easy to blame others for our circumstances. It's easy to point fingers at the world, at society, at our families, or at our friends and say, they should have done this, or if only they had been there for me. But this only keeps us stuck in a cycle of victimhood. It robs us of the power we have within us to change our circumstances. Circumstances recognizing that the only person who can truly change your life is you. How do we begin to cultivate self-reliance? It starts with a shift in mindset. Instead of waiting for others to provide you with answers, start looking inward. Ask yourself, what do I want? What am I willing to do to achieve it? What steps can I take today to move closer to my goals? The answers are within you, and the power to take action lies in your hands. As you begin to take ownership of your life, you will notice a change. You will start to feel more confident in your decisions, more empowered in your actions, and more resilient in the face of challenges. You will understand that no one can live your life for you. Only you can. And this realization will change everything. It will change how you approach problems. It will change how you view setbacks. And most importantly, it will change how you view yourself. When you learn to rely on yourself, you become the architect of your own life. You become the person who shapes your own destiny. And you realize that the future is yours to create. When we go through life, it's easy to become affected by the opinions and judgments of others, whether it's our family, our friends, or even strangers. It's natural to seek validation and approval from those around us. We want to feel accepted, understood, and appreciated. But here's the truth. The only opinion that truly matters is your own. Others may doubt your abilities, question your decisions, or criticize your choices. But what defines you is not what others think of you. It's what you think of yourself. It's important to understand that others will always have opinions. They will always offer feedback, often without even asking for it. And sometimes those opinions will be harsh, negative, or unsupportive. But just because someone else doubts you doesn't mean you should doubt yourself. Too often we let the doubts and criticisms of others shape how we feel about ourselves, which ultimately holds us back. When we allow others' opinions to determine our worth, we relinquish our power and become passive participants in our own lives. We start living for the approval of others instead of living for ourselves and pursuing what truly matters to us. Self-belief is not about ignoring the perspectives of others. It's about recognizing that at the end of the day, the most important voice is your own. It's about understanding that no one else has walked in your shoes, no one else fully understands your journey, and no one else can truly define what's best for you. Others may offer advice or point out what they think you should do, but the final decision should always come from within you. Your inner voice is the one that understands your values, your dreams, and your potential. It knows what truly matters to you, even when others may not see it. It's easy to feel discouraged when others doubt us, especially when those people are close to us, family members, friends, or mentors we respect. But it's important to recognize that their doubts are often rooted in their own fears, limitations, or perspectives, and not necessarily a reflection of our capabilities. Just because someone else doesn't believe in you doesn't mean you shouldn't believe in yourself. People's doubts may come from a place of concern or a lack of understanding, but they don't define who you are or what you're capable of achieving. Self-belief is not about being arrogant or disregarding others' opinions. It's about developing the confidence to stay true to yourself, to trust in your abilities, and to follow your own path, even when others might not see the vision you have for your life. There will always be critics. There will always be people who question your choices. But your belief in yourself is what will keep you grounded. When you believe in yourself, you stop seeking external validation and start trusting that you have what it takes to succeed on your own terms. This doesn't mean that you should shut yourself off from feedback entirely. Constructive criticism can be valuable, but it should never shake your belief in your own abilities. Feedback is a tool for growth, not a reason to second-guess who you are or what you're doing. When you trust yourself, you can filter the feedback you receive and take what serves your growth while discarding what doesn't. The key is to differentiate between constructive criticism, which is meant to help you improve, and negative opinions, which are often a reflection of someone else's insecurities. In many ways, the doubts of others can be a test of your own belief in your path, your dreams, and your capabilities. How much do you believe in yourself? How committed are you to your vision, even when the world around you questions it? It's easy to give up on our dreams when people don't believe in us. But true strength lies in standing firm in your own belief, even when others try to tear it down. The greatest achievements in history were often met with skepticism, doubt, and criticism. But those who believed in their vision and trusted themselves were the ones who succeeded. They understood that the road to success is not a straight path. It's full of obstacles, detours, and naysayers. But those who remain steadfast in their self-belief are the ones who find the strength to keep going, even when the world tells them to stop. The world will always offer its opinions, but it's your own belief that will carry you through. When you start trusting yourself and ignoring the doubts of others, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. You stop holding yourself back. You stop waiting for permission, and you stop relying on others to define your worth. The only validation you need is the belief that you are capable, worthy, and deserving of success. This kind of self-belief doesn't come overnight. It's a practice, something you build over time. It comes from reflecting on your past achievements, acknowledging your strengths, and learning to silence the inner critic that often echoes the doubts of others. Every time you choose to believe in yourself, despite external criticism, you strengthen that belief. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes, until you reach a point where you no longer rely on others' opinions to dictate how you feel about yourself. In a world that constantly pressures us to fit into certain molds, to follow the crowd, and to seek approval, self-belief becomes a revolutionary act. It's about standing firm in who you are, knowing your worth, and choosing to pursue your dreams on your own terms. When you trust yourself, you stop seeking validation from others and begin to seek validation from within. And that is where true power lies. The next time someone doubts you, instead of letting their opinion affect you, take a moment to remember your belief in yourself is all that truly matters. The opinions of others may come and go, but the confidence you have in your own abilities will be the foundation on which you build your life. Keep believing in yourself even when others don't, and you'll discover that the strength to succeed has always been inside you. There are times in life when everything feels overwhelming, when we feel stuck in a rut, and when it seems like there is no way out. It's in those moments that we often turn to others for help, support, or guidance. But the truth is that, more often than not, we are the ones who hold the power to change our lives. No one else can walk our journey for us. And no one else can solve our problems for us. Ultimately, we are responsible for our own success, happiness, and well-being. Only we can truly change our circumstances. There's something liberating in realizing that we are the architects of our own lives. It's easy to blame external factors for the challenges we face. The economy, the environment, the people around us, or our circumstances. While these factors can certainly impact our lives, they don't have the final say in who we become or what we achieve. The power to change, to grow, and to succeed lies within us. It starts with the choices we make, the actions we take, and the mindset we adopt. We cannot wait for someone else to rescue us. We must be the ones to rise up and take control of our own destiny. The first step toward change is realizing that we have the ability to change. Too often, we get stuck in a cycle of self-doubt, believing that we are powerless to shape our own lives. We get used to thinking of ourselves as victims of circumstances, as though we are at the mercy of forces beyond our control. But the reality is that the most powerful tool we have is our own mindset. When we start to believe that we can change, that we have the power to create our own reality, everything shifts. The moment we take responsibility for our lives, we unlock the potential to take action, to break free from the chains that bind us, and to create the life we truly desire. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that someone else will come along and fix things for us. We often look to others for validation, for direction, or for solutions to our problems. But the truth is that the only person who can fix your life is you. No one is going to save you, and no one is going to do the work for you. If you want something to change, you have to take the first step. You have to make the decision to take control, to stop waiting for things to improve on their own, and to start taking action. The road to change may not be easy, and it will likely require hard work, sacrifice, and perseverance. But the reward is a life that is lived on your own terms, a life where you are in the driver's seat. There is a certain strength that comes from realizing that we are in control of our own lives. It empowers us to take ownership of our decisions, actions, and outcomes. When we accept that we are the ones responsible for our happiness, we stop waiting for others to fulfill our needs or make us happy. We stop looking for external sources of validation or support, and instead, we turn inward to find our own strength and confidence. This doesn't mean that we reject help from others, but it means that we don't rely on others to create our happiness for us. We take ownership of our emotional well-being, our goals, and our dreams. When we take responsibility for our lives, we also stop making excuses. It's easy to blame others or external factors for our problems. It's easy to say, if only I had more money or more time or more support, I would be able to achieve my goals. But the truth is that these are just excuses that prevent us from taking action. If we want to change our lives, we need to stop waiting for the perfect circumstances and start doing the work with what we have right now. We may not have all the resources, time, or support we wish we had, but we have everything we need to take the first step. Change begins with a decision to act, and that decision lies with us. Taking responsibility also means accepting that failure is part of the journey. It's easy to avoid taking risks or trying new things because we're afraid of failing. But failure is not the end, it's simply part of the process. Every failure, every setback, every obstacle is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to come back stronger. When we take responsibility for our lives, we stop fearing failure and start seeing it as a stepping stone towards success. Failure is a constant. We understand that no one gets everything right the first time, and that the key to success is persistence, learning, and resilience. Another important aspect of taking control of our lives is learning to trust ourselves. We live in a world where it's easy to look to others for guidance and approval, but at the end of the day, we are the only ones who truly know what's best for us. We are the ones who understand our dreams, our goals, and our values. When we trust ourselves, we stop second-guessing our decisions and start making choices with confidence. Self-trust is the foundation of self-belief and is the key to creating a life that is aligned with our true selves. Trusting ourselves also means giving ourselves permission to make mistakes and learn from them. We often hold ourselves to impossibly high standards, expecting perfection in everything we do. But perfection is not the goal, growth is. When we trust ourselves, we allow ourselves the freedom to fail, to stumble, and to pick ourselves back up again. We recognize that each mistake is an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to grow stronger. By trusting ourselves, we free ourselves from the fear of failure and open the door to endless possibilities. Taking control of our lives also means creating a vision for our future and taking consistent steps toward it. It's easy to feel lost or aimless, especially when life is full of distractions or when we're uncertain of what we want. But when we take responsibility for our future, we create a clear vision of what we want and take deliberate action to make it happen. It's not enough to simply dream about the life we want. We have to actively pursue it. One step at a time. No one is going to make our dreams come true except us. Taking control of our lives means living with intention. It's about making choices that align with our values, our goals, and our aspirations. It's about being proactive in creating the life we want rather than reacting to whatever comes our way. Life is never going to be a perfectly smooth ride. No matter how much we try to prepare ourselves, there will always be bumps in the road, moments of uncertainty, and even times when we feel like we've hit rock bottom. But here's the thing. These challenges, these obstacles are not roadblocks. They are opportunities. Opportunities to learn, to grow, and to become stronger than we were before. It's easy to look at adversity as something to fear or avoid. But the truth is that it is through overcoming hardship that we discover what we are truly made of. When things get tough, it's natural to feel discouraged. We often ask ourselves why. Life seems to throw challenge after challenge our way. We wonder why we're being tested or why the road ahead seems so difficult. But what if, instead of seeing these moments as burdens, we viewed them as chances for growth? What if we saw each obstacle as a lesson in resilience, in patience, in perseverance? When we learn to embrace challenges rather than resist them, we open ourselves up to a new perspective on life. Every challenge we face in life holds the potential for transformation. Think about the toughest moments you've experienced. At the time, they probably felt unbearable, like they would break you. But as time passed, as you navigated through those difficult moments, you likely realized that you emerged stronger. The struggle itself doesn't define you. How you respond to it does. When we face adversity, we have a choice. We can either let it defeat us, or we can use it as fuel to propel us forward. Adversity forces us to adapt. When things don't go as planned, we are pushed to think outside the box, to find creative solutions, and to approach problems with fresh eyes. It challenges us to tap into resources we didn't even know we had. It's easy to feel stuck in the face of hardship. But the truth is that difficult moments often bring out the best in us. It's during times of struggle that we discover how resourceful, creative, and capable we truly are. And that realization doesn't just help us solve the immediate problem, it shapes who we become in the long term. Another important aspect of embracing challenges is that they teach us resilience. Resilience isn't something you're born with, it's something you develop over time. Each time you face a difficult situation and come through the other side, you build your resilience. You learn how to bounce back, how to pick yourself up after a fall, how to keep moving forward even when it feels like everything is working against you. Resilience is the muscle we build through repeated exposure to adversity. The more we face challenges, the stronger we become until we realize that we are capable of handling anything that life throws our way. It's also worth noting that challenges are often what lead to our greatest growth. Imagine if everything in life were easy. We would never have to learn to persevere, to work hard, or to push ourselves beyond our limits. We wouldn't discover the depth of our potential. Growth happens outside of our comfort zones, and it is only when we push past the boundaries of what we think we can handle that we truly begin to see what we're capable of achieving. If everything were handed to us, we would never experience the satisfaction that comes with overcoming difficulty. Sometimes challenges come in the form of failure. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't work out as we hoped. Failure can feel like a personal setback, like a reflection of our inadequacy. But failure is not the end of the road. It's a stepping stone. It's an opportunity to learn, to pivot, and to try again with a better understanding of what works and what doesn't. Every failure is a lesson, and every lesson brings us one step closer to success. The key is not to be afraid of failure, but to use it as a tool for growth. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by avoiding failure. They got there by learning from it, growing through it, and using it as motivation to keep going. In addition to personal growth, challenges also help us develop a deeper sense of empathy. When we face struggles, we become more attuned to the struggles of others. We start to understand that everyone is fighting their own battles, even if we can't always see them. This empathy can strengthen our relationships, deepen our connections, and make us more compassionate toward others. By embracing our own challenges, we not only grow as individuals, but also become better equipped to help and support those around us who are going through their own difficult times. Embracing challenges allows us to create a life that is full of meaning and purpose. Life isn't about avoiding difficulty. It's about how we rise to meet it. The most fulfilling experiences in life often come from overcoming obstacles. The sense of accomplishment, the pride in knowing that we faced something difficult and came out stronger on the other side. That is what makes life truly meaningful. If everything were easy, we would never have those moments of triumph that make us feel alive. The challenges we face shape the story of our lives, and they are what make us proud of what we have achieved. When faced with adversity, instead of asking, why me? Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Embrace the challenge. See it for what it truly is. A chance for growth, a lesson in resilience, and an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. The road may not always be easy, but it is through the difficult moments that we discover who we are, what we are capable of, and what really matters. True strength isn't about never facing difficulty, never feeling fear, or never experiencing doubt. Real strength lies in the ability to face these challenges and rise above them. The strongest people are not those who sail through life without encountering hardship, but those who persist in the face of adversity. Strength comes from within, from the choices we make when we're confronted with obstacles, from our ability to tap into the courage and resilience that reside inside us. When life becomes difficult, when the road ahead seems uncertain, it's easy to feel powerless. In those moments, it's easy to doubt ourselves, to wonder if we're enough, or if we're capable of handling the challenges that are in front of us. But what if, instead of giving into fear or self-doubt, we chose to believe in the strength we have within us? What if, in the face of adversity, we reminded ourselves that the power to keep going, to persevere, is something that comes from deep inside? This strength is not something we acquire by simply wishing for it. It's not something that is handed to us on a silver platter. It is forged through experience, through moments of struggle, through times when we feel like giving up but choose to keep going. Strength is built through every setback, every failure, and every hardship. It's built by showing up even when we don't feel like it, by taking one step forward even when it feels like we're standing still. When we face challenges, it's easy to look outward for solutions. We want someone to tell us what to do, to offer us a way out, to give us the answers. But the real solution lies within us. The strength to face life's difficulties, to move through them, and to emerge stronger on the other side is something that comes from our inner core. It's the belief that no matter how tough the situation is, we have the capacity to handle it, to learn from it, and to rise above it. When we begin to trust in our own strength, we begin to see challenges in a different light. Instead of seeing them as insurmountable, we start to see them as opportunities to grow, to evolve, and to become better versions of ourselves. Every challenge becomes an invitation to step into our own power, to face our fears and doubts head on, and to prove to ourselves that we are capable of handling whatever life throws our way. It's important to understand that inner strength doesn't mean being invulnerable to life's difficulties. It doesn't mean that we never feel hurt, that we never experience sadness or pain. In fact, inner strength is often born from those very experiences. It's the ability to feel deeply, to be vulnerable, and yet still choose to keep moving forward. It's the courage to face the things that scare us and still take action, knowing that we are more than capable of handling the challenges that come our way. One of the most powerful aspects of inner strength is resilience, the ability to bounce back after hardship. Life has a way of testing us, and there will inevitably be times when we feel like we've been knocked down. But the true measure of our strength isn't in how many times we fall, but in how we rise again. Resilience is what allows us to keep going even when things seem impossible. It's the refusal to let setbacks define us, the belief that we can always find a way to move forward, no matter how difficult the path may be. Resilience is not something we're born with, but something we cultivate through experience. Every time we face a challenge and choose to keep going, we build our resilience. Every time we fall and get back up, we grow stronger. And over time, as we accumulate these experiences, we start to realize that no challenge is too big for us to overcome. The more we rely on our inner strength, the more we begin to see that we are capable of handling life's challenges with grace and determination. Another key aspect of inner strength is the ability to maintain hope even in the darkest of times. It's easy to give in to despair when things are tough, to believe that there is no way out or that the situation will never improve. But inner strength is the ability to hold on to hope, to believe that even in the hardest moments, there is light at the end of the tunnel. It's about having faith that things will get better and that we will come out of the other side of our struggles stronger, wiser, and more resilient than before. When we tap into our inner strength, we begin to realize that we have more power than we initially believed. We begin to understand that we are not defined by our circumstances, but by how we choose to respond to them. We are not victims of our situations. We are active participants in our own lives. We have the power to create the life we want, to choose how we react to the challenges we face, and to decide what kind of person we want to become in the process. True strength is also about learning to trust ourselves. It's about knowing that even when we don't have all the answers, we have the ability to figure things out. It's the confidence that comes from having faced difficulties before and knowing that we can handle whatever comes next. When we trust ourselves, we stop looking to others for validation or approval, and we begin to rely on our own instincts, our own judgment, and our own wisdom. We start to believe in our own abilities, and that belief is what fuels our inner strength. Inner strength is not just about overcoming obstacles. It's about taking ownership of our lives. It's about accepting responsibility for the choices we make and the actions we take. It's about realizing that we are the architects of our own destiny and that we have the power to shape our future. When we take responsibility for our lives, we stop waiting for things to happen and start making things happen. We begin to see that the power to create the life we want is within us, and we have the strength to make it a reality.